Hello, today I'm planning to go on a journey. I'm going abroad, I'm going to England from Norway where I live, and I'm attending a workshop with Nigel Price, jazz guitarist. And I have some challenges because the workshop says that I have to bring a guitar and also an amp. So I looked into renting gear when I get there. I can do that, but it will be a bit costly. So I've decided to check my options, and I'd rather not check in my guitar as luggage on the plane. We all know how that could end, pretty ugly. I have found a solution, I hope. So what I'll do, I'll bring this guitar, a Les Paul Jr. It's an Epiphone. So it's not the most costliest guitar I have, but it's a very good one. I don't know if you have seen the episode where I got this made, if you like, because I got it in parts, and I also ordered a special made pickup for it. So you can watch that here if you like to see how that guitar came to be. But I will bring this guitar, and what I'll do is that I will detach the neck. Then it's all of a sudden becomes just this size, or the neck is this size, so that will be the measure, I guess. And if I tilt it like that into a suitcase that I'm allowed to bring into the airplane cabin, I think that could work. And it's not that heavy, 2 to 3 kilos, I guess, at the most. So that's my plan for this. But what about the amp? I need to bring an amp. So my solution for that is that I have a lunchbox. Lunchbox Junior. I've had this for years. It's just been standing here in the room, and I've almost forgot about it. And then I came to think of that I could bring this. And I can't remember how it sounds really, but it's not a great sound, but it's more than good enough for this purpose, I think. So the workshop will be a jazz guitar workshop. So I will hopefully be learning some new difficult chords and scales, perhaps. But this Lunchbox Junior is a solid state amp, of course. It's not a tube amp, but it is pretty okay sounding amp, and it can play also pretty loud. I doubt that I will need to play loud at this. I think I've heard there will be 9 to 10 people attending the workshop, but you can imagine if we are all playing with amps and trying out some new chords, and I can imagine it being what's the word, cacophony of sounds. Bit curious how that will work out. I once attended the Robben Ford workshop, or what he called at the time a clinic, guitar clinic. And we were also supposed to bring guitars, but no amps. So I traveled to Germany for that purpose. So it was me along with the other attendants were just from Germany. It was in Cologne. And it was pretty cool meeting Robben Ford, and but we didn't play much. So Robben was talking and showing us some chords and scales. But this is Nigel Price. I didn't know much of him until I read about this workshop. So I really recommend checking out Nigel Price if you don't know about him. He's a great jazz guitarist. So I'm very much looking forward to pick up some of the things that he can teach. All right, so what I'll do, I thought we could just have a listen to this amp. And if I manage, I will at least do some footage when I get to the hotels, to if I can assemble the guitar again and get it to play. I'm not sure if I can make some footage from the actual workshop, but maybe, we'll see. I doubt it, but anyways, let's hear what the Lunchbox amp sounds like with this guitar. There is no reverb in this amp, and I love to have some reverb. So I have this tiny spring reverb thing here. So just adding that bit of reverb adds more joy to my experience of the sound. It's fine. It's almost too good to be true. It's sounding awesome with a little help from the reverb and overdrive, methinks. It's a bit much reverb, so I'll try to take that down a bit. Enormously long trail from that little box there. It's quite cool, that little tiny spring reverb. Yeah, maybe that's enough. And just the amp, no overdrive. Alright, then I'll start with taking off the neck here and see if it will fit in the suitcase that I think will do for this purpose. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so I'll start with removing the strings. Try not to sting myself in the fingers. I usually do when I do this exercise. Yeah, there you go. The neck is off. Yeah, so this shouldn't be too tricky to reassemble when I get to the hotel. And with hopefully none of this destroyed or broken. Fingers crossed. Let's see if it fits in the suitcase. Okay, I'm about ready to leave. Well, it's not till Friday. It's Wednesday today, but I like to get things checked so I know that I can go and hopefully remember the things that I need. I can think of one thing that I will need is a power adapter. This kind of thing to when you're going to UK, they have different standards than the rest of Europe. In Norway and UK share the same voltage, but I need this adapter because we have this kind of standards in Europe and in Norway. So this will go into here, and I will have power for my amp. Some tools. I will need to reassemble my guitar, and I will need this to fix the neck. And maybe I'll need to change some strings. And a good set of pliers will be nice to have. Alright, hopefully I've thought of everything that I need. Probably not, but yeah, I think I'm good. Okay, next time I'll check in will be on the road, I guess, and I will just bring my phone, no cameras, so I guess I could do some decent footage with my phone. So, till then. Okay, so here I am at the airport parking space at Sola, Stavanger. Here is how I did it. This is the amp, the guitar body, and I choose to have the neck just like this, in a small bag by itself. So this is the smallest piece of luggage that I could fit. So this is the correct measured cabin suitcase. Yeah, should be fine. All right, here we go. Up into the air we go. Great day. So I was delayed out of Stavanger today with 1 hour, and I missed my connecting flight to Southampton. But I managed to rebook to a flight to Southampton later today. So I have to spend a few hours here at Schiphol, Amsterdam. So, but I should cope, I guess. The guitar neck managed to come through in one piece and made it through the security control, and the guitar is also inside my suitcase that I brought into the cabin, so everything is good. The one thing that didn't make it was a screwdriver that I brought along to. I have to reassemble my guitar, right? So I bring a screwdriver. But it's of course a pointy, sharp object, so I should have thought of that. I couldn't have that. So they just took it from me. So I have to get a new one when I get to Southampton. But other than that, I'm fine. So I will be in Southampton later this afternoon and be ready for my workshop tomorrow. All good. This airport is really huge. This Schiphol is really hot. You can see here all the planes going to different places. And you can do all sorts of things here. They even have their own museum. So yeah, it's big. But I have some hours still to kill here, so we'll have to look around some more for something fun to do. I looked for some guitarist magazines, but they are all in Dutch, so I could look at the pictures, of course, but nah, guess not. Okay. Safely arrived at a hotel, and my guitar is now ready to be assembled again. So I haven't fixed the neck yet, it just looks like it, because I have a challenge with not having a screwdriver. So I will have to pop down to the reception and see if I can, if they maybe have a Phillips screwdriver that will fit. Or else one of the organizers for the workshop said he could bring one tomorrow, but I was hoping to fix it today, so it's ready to go when the workshop starts. Well, I'm just happy I got here and the guitar is in one piece. So, well, it appears to be in one piece, but I have to fix it with the strings and everything. All right, let's see if I can borrow a screwdriver. Alright, so far I managed to screw the back on the guitar. At least most of the screws are tight, but I think the neck it's enough for the neck to be fixed. And I didn't use a screwdriver. I will save the last tightening bit for tomorrow. I used this one and so well, almost in tune. And converted to UK power and into the amp, and the amp is on. Listen to this. We have sound. Yeah, there we are. I'm thrilled and happy, and this looks to go the right way. Can't wait till tomorrow. I'm back in good old Norway. Quite a journey, and also spent quite a few hours at the airports due to delayed flights. That seems to happen more and more these days, but okay. I got there and I got back home, so all good. The workshop with Nigel Price was absolutely fabulous. I was so inspired from it and ready to up my game in music theory, and will really put in the hours now to enhance my playing. So for me it's mostly about hitting the right notes, or the notes that I would like to hit. So my playing is mostly based on playing by ear, or going to the places that I know as a safe ground. But after that workshop I realized that there is a lot of unexplored areas on the guitar neck that I need to figure out on how to get to. Yeah, I will read up a bit on theory. I have the Mickey Baker jazz guitar book, so I will really use that book and do the exercises there. I will also I just became a Patreon of Nigel Price's Patreon page, and I hope to get some good info from there as well. Really recommend to listen to Nigel Price. He is such a great guitarist, very tasteful maneuvering around the fretboard. And for me, that is this channel is about guitar tone, so I was really impressed with the tones that he gets out of his guitar and amp. And he's not using any effects, pedals. He's going from his guitar straight into his amp, and he uses an amp called Session. And you might have heard of that as a well-known brand in the UK. But I didn't realize that it was a solid state until he told me, and because I hadn't looked into those amps before. But my God, what tones he managed to pull out of that amp. So I realized that the most of the tones really comes from these tools here, and what you manage to do with your guitar and the amp. So yeah, all in all, very inspiring workshop, and I will dive into this, and I will tell it on my channel here now, so I have some push to really do it. Yeah, so if in a couple of months I don't improve my playing, you can get back to me and say that, hey, how's it going with that jazz guitar theory tour? Yeah, so well, my guitar also made it back in one piece. It's even the same strings that I had when I left, so it turned out well. At the last day I had to ask for help if anyone had a Phillips screwdriver, because that was taken from me at the first security post at the airport. I realized it once I opened the suitcase and saw, oh, I have a screwdriver here. Can I bring this? And of course I couldn't. So yeah, I had to be creative about assembling the guitar when I was in England, and it all went fine. So that was a very good way of traveling with the guitar. Managed to get this body into the suitcase that is allowed to bring into the cabin, and the neck just by itself worked fine, no questions. It all was all good. I'll just play out now so you can listen to the tones. Yeah, I'll use my clone of a Dumble for the most clean tones. Maybe a tad of the Sweet Honey Overdrive just to push it a bit so it can break up a little bit the way I like it. So let's make a loop and play. Until next time, bye for now.